Okay, this is starting to piss me off. And clearly I'm not the only one. Earlier this week, as this quick video is being made, the YouTuber Sheeprampage made a video that basically had a title saying the Fanverse failed, and King Carter, the director of the Pop Goes series, a FNAF fangame series associated with the Fazbear Fanverse Initiative, spoke out about this issue with a tweet. And then, YouTuber King basically came in and started crying about what Kane was saying, and then it all spiraled from there. Feth even made a response video to Kane. That's how far this went. Now, Kane is somebody that I've personally had my eye on for a while due to his clickbait content, his controversies among the FNAF community, and not to mention, him purposefully trying to ruin the reputations of people and things just for views. And the biggest example is the Fanverse. My god. I should get this out of the way right now. I do not support King, both him as a content creator and his content, and I don't support him as a person. And that's for personal reasons, by the way. In light of these clickbait videos that claim the Fanverse is dead, the Fanverse has been seen as a terrible brand, or in Feth's point of view, idea, and that everyone on the Fanverse are terrible people, and the controversies associated with the Fanverse have completely ruined it. This is not the case. I'm making this video just to real quickly defend the Fazbear Fanverse Initiative, and most of the people involved with it, because for far too long, these clickbait videos have continued to thrive and ruin people's perception of this quite honestly positive and life-changing brand that has given many people many creative opportunities. I know I have a small sub count of 14,000, and me making this video wouldn't make an overall difference if this were being made for awareness, but I don't care about that. I care about the Fanverse, and I care enough about it to express that I do, and to defend it when it's being finger-pointed. So I should probably state first that I'm not saying that it's perfect. There have been incidents related to the Fanverse, whether that be Jonachrome, one of the 5 main developers involved, being outed as a child groomer. There's also been the Afton built ordeal. There's also been the pair. And for the latter two, it doesn't involve anyone in the Fanverse, at least negatively. And these 3, plus a few more like possibly Fisnum's past statements on FNAF and Security Breach, and maybe Nixon's past being recovered, have been the main reasons as to why people, especially King and Sheeprampage, cite the Fanverse as problematic and a failure. But they didn't really have a big effect on the Fanverse itself and the people involved. Also, I should probably mention, it's not just the main 5 directors involved. There's also development teams behind these games that deserve support too, and don't deserve to be seen as being a part of something that some people perceive as toxic, even though it really isn't. The Fanverse is not dead. It's not a failure. It's not cancelled. Pop Goes Arcade just released on Steam earlier this month with a DLC attached, and sure, it had some issues with recognition, but those who did play it, it was well received. Really well received, actually. A 98% rating, Kane even said. As well, today, as of me writing this script, Nixon for the first time in a while has shown off stuff related to the Ignited collection, and he's back on working on that after working with Glowstick Entertainment for Dark Deception. And in my personal opinion, what he's shown today is really cool so far. Not to mention, Phil is making progress on FNAF Plus, and people say the target release for the game is this year. And while nothing has been heard of Candies 4 for a while, I bet Emil is still working hard on it behind the scenes, and it's going to be a great game when it releases. Not to mention, the merch that's being made, U2's? I don't know about you, but the Fanverse doesn't seem dead to me. And in terms of Jonachrome, the biggest reason people cite for the Fanverse being bad, at least he left? At least he isn't fully associated anymore? I've just been seeing this toxicity about the Fanverse going around lately, and not just the Fanverse, but the FNAF community in general. My video here about how I claim Security Breach ruined the FNAF community, I still stand by and agree with that video. All of this shit is a post-Security Breach thing. An era of FNAF that's currently still happening in its community, where people are too negative and too toxic in this community to face now not just opinions, but now actual facts. I love the Fazbear Fanverse Initiative. I respect every developer involved except for Jonachrome. I respect the development teams involved. I really like Find to Candies. I really like the joy of creation. Ignoring the developer, I think One Night at Flumpty's is a good trilogy. While not a fan of Pop Goes 2016 from a gameplay perspective, I still really like Pop Goes Arcade and think that Evergreen will be amazing. And I can say the same for FNAF Plus. It's currently the game in the Fanverse I'm the most excited for currently, and it looks amazing. As well, I should mention, the Fanverse and fangames in general are what we got for right now when it comes to FNAF until the release of Security Breach Ruin. This constant negativity for the fanverse is undeserved, and I think it needs to be supported and appreciated much more than it currently does. If you're someone who believes the fanverse is completely dead and it's a failure, and you encourage people to not support it, please, treat the fanverse and the wonderful people behind it much better. They deserve it.